Hi, Golden Anchor Quilting community. It's Tuesday. So what are we doing? We're going live. And it is by the skin of our teeth and the grace of Chris's and Adam's talents. They have been swapping out computers and cameras and microphones and technology for hours today, making sure that we are going to be able to go live tonight. And they've been doing all kinds of wonderful things in the background to zhuzh up our channel. So we hope that you notice those things. We hope you enjoy those things. And we're going to continue to work on zhuzhing up our channel and making it more fun and more professional looking. And speaking of professional, tonight we have Rick, who doesn't want to admit that he's professional.
I'm professional.
Some of you have come to the shop and met Rick on the mobile sharpening days that we've had. Rick is with Absolute Edge Mobile Sharpening. We've had about 1 1/4 since we came on board in October. And this fall, we're going to have 2 1/4. We get to see Rick on Sunday, September 1st for the launch of the Shop Hop. And then again at the end of October on the other regional Sunday for Shop Hop. I don't want to lie about the date, so I'm not going to say that out loud right now. I'll put it in the comments later. So we're going to have 2 opportunities to get our scissors and pinking shears sharpened with Rick. And we're super excited about that because he kind of works some magic with scissors. Like my grandmother probably cut corrugated cardboard with her pinking shears, and she's been gone for a while, and Rick was able to revive those pinking shears and get them cutting beautifully again. So, as always, remember to like, subscribe, follow our channel, follow us on Facebook. All of those little things are free things you can do to support your small local quilt shop, and we appreciate those things. Share these videos with anybody you think might enjoy. This week, because of the scissor component, you can share this with your favorite hairstylist, because Rick services hair cutting shears. That's probably not the right term, but you'll correct me later. And so it's not just quilting scissors that he does. Hair cutting scissors and shears are his primary, right?
Right.
He just kind of came into this and we're having a great time. So you can share it with your hairstylist, you can share it with your favorite salon or other folks who quilt or sew. And we appreciate those likes and subscribes and shares. It helps us grow and build our community and bring in more people to enjoy.
Your mother says hi.
Hi, Mom. And we are going to turn it over to Rick for a little bit here. And then we're going to come back and talk about the Shop Hop. And then we've got a scissor keeper to sew. We thought that was exactly the right pattern to sew on the night that we were talking with you.
Yep.
So Rick, tell us about you and what you do and why you ended up being able to be our mobile sharpener.
Well, my name is Rick Edmiston. I come from North Carolina, but I've been a resident here for 2.5 years. I've been doing shears for 13 years.
Okay.
I do mostly beauty shears and work with hairstylists all around, even in North Carolina still.
You do a couple trips a year down to take care of them.
I do 2 trips a year to Carolina because my customer said, you can't move to New Hampshire. And I said, yes, I can. And they said, no, you can't. I promised them I'd come back twice a year.
It doesn't hurt that you get to bring back Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, and I take maple syrup down there.
Okay,
So,
all right, that's
know,
fair. Rick, I don't mean to interrupt, but I forgot to tell everybody what our question is tonight, which is, what is your favorite brand of scissors to have in your sewing room? So what's your go-to brand of scissors, pinking shears, snips, whatever? And by answering that question in the chat, you'll get entered in our drawing to win the scissor keeper that we're making tonight. Completely forgot about that. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
It's your show.
Ah!
I am totally mobile. I have a van set up with a shop in the back. I can come anywhere, go anywhere, do anything. I am super sharpener. No.
You are.
You
are.
But I do a lot of work around here, a lot in Rutland, Keene, around, and I'm branching out further every day. The shears for beauty shears are a whole different beast. This is considered a beauty shear. It is a...
Which camera should we put that under to really show it off? Right here?
It is a convex blade. Most cloth shears are not. They're straight grind, regular shear. These have to be done a certain way. It's a lot more expensive to sharpen this than it is your quilting shears. The quality of the shear is everything. Sharpness, um, cleanliness, and adjustment are the three big things you have to think about in a shear. You want your shear to be ready to go at a moment's notice, and if those three criteria are not met, the shear won't work properly.
You're going to be trying to cut, and
Then you're going to be
with
throwing it and sticking it on the wall, and that's not good for anybody, except the repair guy.
Make sure the sewing room door is closed before you throw the shear, so you don't want to hit anybody with those.
The main thing about is sharpness, of course, and that's where I come in.
Yeah.
If you hand me a shear and it's unsharpenable, I'll hand it back to you and say I can't do a thing with it. Why would that be? Because maybe the shears are so old that the screw is welded into place by time. Unless I've got 4 hours and a sledgehammer, it ain't happening. And I don't want you to see me beating on your shears.
No.
So I'm just going to renege on the deal and say, nope, can't do it.
Okay.
But
I think we've maybe had 3 pairs in all the mobile sharpening days that we've had here at Golden Anchor.
Yeah, very
that
few.
have hit that criteria. So for the most part, you've been able to do what our quilters have brought in.
But sometimes, like grandma's or Aunt Susie's shears,
the ones that were stored in the garage.
Yeah, I found these laying in a puddle in the garage. They're going to be corroded to the point where they're not worth fixing. It's going to cost you more to get me to fix them than it is they're worth.
To buy another shear. Yeah.
And always keep that in mind. You're not still driving the same car you were in high school. So your shears don't last forever. Now, good shears last a long time.
And they last longer with regular care and cleaning.
With regular, people think they're saving money by not sharpening them, and they're fooling themselves.
Okay.
Because if you keep it consistently dull and force it to cut,
you're going to create more problems.
Yes.
It's similar to what we deal with rotary blades, right, quilters? That you shouldn't cut with a dull rotary blade because you're going to be more likely to cut yourself and mess up your fabric and get frustrated and maybe throw things.
The sharper the blades, the smoother the cut, the less waste on your project, and you're going to have a nicer looking quilt or whatever you're making.
Mm-hmm.
So keep them sharp, keep them clean.
How do we clean scissors? That's a good question, I think.
Any kind of cleaning fluid, anything, Dawn.
Okay.
Anything. You just want
to put it above so they can see.
You want to wet the blade with a paper towel and wipe it holding the back to your hand so you don't slice off a finger.
I bet I could still slice my finger.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've seen you in action. but the it's common sense.
Unfortunately, that's not as common as it used to
be. Yeah, it's less common every day. Don't poke yourself with the pointy end, that type of thing. So
you had told me at one point with one of the pairs of scissors that we were working on that there was a sort of a feel to when you know that the tension is right.
Right.
Can you tell our community about that?
Yes. In this type of shear, I do the drop test. That is a perfectly tensioned shear. These blades have a set to the blade. In other words, it's bent from the factory. It's supposed to be that way. The shears you use for quilting are relatively flat.
Okay.
So it's a whole different beast. You can't go by the drop test as much, but you want to hear that blade touching all the way to the tip. If it's not coming together at the tip, they won't cut. I mean, they'll cut at the base,
but not at the
tip. They won't go whack, 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 whack.
And when we want to clip those curves for a curved seam, which we're going to clip one of those in our sample that we make tonight, we want them to go all the way to the tip.
You got to have them sharp. You got to have them adjusted properly and clean. I mean, no glue on them, no garbage. Don't set it down on your sucker or something while you're
Don't let it at the exhaust of your vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
One of the other things you told me was in relationship to how often you should get them sharpened and protecting them from like drops and falls and dings and things.
The good thing about the Scissor Keeper is, and I'm glad you're featuring that today.
Yeah.
Is it helps keep the tips together. When you're storing them, you don't just throw them in a junk drawer with the blades open.
Maybe we do.
If you do, they're not going to last as long. They're not going to be as sharp, and you're going to be complaining.
So that's a way to get more life out of your shears before they need another sharpening.
Yes, you want like a shear like this should be able to do between 200 and 350 haircuts.
Okay, in quilting world.
Quilting world's a whole different beast,
Okay.
but I don't have any.
You don't have the data for that yet.
I don't have a data for that.
So in 3 years, when we've done mobile sharpening here at the shop for 3 years, then you'll have data.
You should probably the quilting shears you should look at every 6 months.
Okay. So that's
I would think
good.
that's a good rule of thumb, and they may not be dull after 6 months. If not, I'll say, look, these are fine.
Right. You don't need to have them sharpened. I'm not going to charge you money because you're a good guy.
I'm not going to do it. Well,
Yeah.
I like to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Funny that way.
So Rick is going to be here on Sunday. What time are you coming on Sunday?
Whenever you tell me, Ball.
Well, we open at 9, but I know mornings are
Usually I've been doing 10 to 3.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 to 3. He'll be here at the shop. Set up somewhere in the shop where you can bring your scissors and pinking shears in and hand them over and then browse all the fun stuff going on for the shop hop and then come back. It's $10 to $12 a pair.
Yeah, it's usually 10. I haven't charged anybody 12 yet.
Okay, so $10 a pair to get them sharpened while you shop. If you can't be here on Sunday, or because it's the first day of the shop hop and you don't want that much crowd in your life, we have a bucket up front with bags where we can put your name and contact information in the bag with your scissors that you can drop off ahead of time. So when Rick has a few minutes in between folks, he gets those drop-off scissors done, and then you can pick them up the next time you come in to Golden Acre. We've done that with him on some of our other mobile sharpening days.
Sure.
Any questions for Rick that have come up in the chat? All right, let's bring it.
Gorilla wants to know what you think about sharpening rotary blades.
Have we played with rotary blades yet?
Buy a new one.
Buy a new one. Okay, we have them here for $4, 45 millimeter.
Yeah.
Buy a new one.
And I can't sharpen one cheaper than $4.
Okay,
And it won't be as precise as a new one.
that's good to know.
Factory edge is always.
Right. Well, and the other thing that we did learn, because we did experiment with this with Rick, was to find out whether he could sharpen seam rippers, and that did not work out because of the teeny tiny little angle in there and the tools that Rick has at his disposal. So at this point in time, we can do scissors or shears, right? And pinking shears. And that was the other thing. You're the one who helped me understand why we say, if you cut paper with my fabric scissors, I will cut you. Right? I mean, that's something that is sort of, it's memes around the quilt world, right? Do not use my fabric scissors on anything else. And you're the one who taught me that is because of the wood grain in the paper.
The wood fiber, yeah.
The wood fibers that starts to degrade the blades and makes it not as sharp. So thank you for that.
Is
education
cutting
point.
one piece of notebook paper going to kill them? No. Constant use of that will.
Don't tell them that.
No, I meant no.
Oh.
I'm gonna wrap Louisa up. She was moving and she grabbed the pinking shears to cut the packing tape.
I did.
And
It was a moment of desperation.
Bad monkey.
I threw myself on the shears.
Yes. But Rick has revived those now and they're perfectly fine. So it's all good. Any other questions in the chat for Rick?
No. Dee says hi from Rapid City.
Yes, she's out in the west
And
parts
you
of
had
the state
somebody
of the
else
country.
From away.
From away. This is the scissor keeper we're gonna make in a little bit. It actually has. We'll get Rick's opinion on whether it's a good one.
Millerton, New York.
Millerton, New York.
Kelly Hewitt.
Oh, that's our fairy quilt mother from Jaff Tex.
Oh,
Hi, Shelly. So it has a pocket here, and then a pocket here, and a pocket here. So it has 3 pockets that you can hold a taller, medium, and smaller.
Does the cloth separate them all the way to the bottom?
Yes. So this is all stitched together down here at the very base of it. This is made out of Moda's Hey Boo. And we're going to work with Tula Pink's Handmade, an older but wonderful line to make the rest of the ones we're going to make tonight.
Pretty.
So, yeah, we're good on our pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We appreciate your expert opinion.
No problem.
And we look forward to Sunday. It's going to be super fun.
I'll be here.
Awesome. Anything else you want to tell our community before you leave?
No, just come on down. These are great people.
Thank you.
I think you'll have a good time. I know you'll have a good time because Louise will roll up and hug you. Hugs is good. That's what we say down south.
My students gave me a pair of socks when I was teaching nursing once for graduation, and the socks said, "Watch out, I'll hug you." It was during
You've
COVID.
been warned.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And your
when will you be
expertise.
back after September and October?
It is
Sometime in October.
if someone can give me some Jeopardy music, I can look up the regional Sundays and tell you, right?
I don't want to get sued by Alex Trebek.
Lisa,
Yeah.
can we tell them that they can drop their shears off if they can't make it?
We did. Yeah, we mentioned that you can drop your shears off ahead of time.
Actually, anytime I can. I only
That's
live
true.
15 minutes down the road.
There have
so
been some in between mobile sharpening days when folks had scissor emergencies. They dropped them off here. We gave Rick a jingle. He came over, opened up the van door, sharpened them, and brought them back in. So that's a thing too. We don't just have the resource when he's here for an official day. So October 27th, which is the second regional shop hop day for the Northwest region, which is where we are in the shop hop, Rick will be here again. So September 1st, October 27th, get your sharpened scissors done. And
just remember, I'm not just another pretty face.
thank you so much.
Darren's
Rick.
back there going, yeah, you got that right.
We appreciate you. We
Thank
really
you.
do.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're all set. You're free.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you want me to teach you how to make a scissor keeper, but maybe that's
Ooh,
another
I have a
day.
dentist appointment.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Watch the wire.
Okay.
Oh, yep, iron cord there. Don't
Yeah, I don't
head over tea kettle.
have to
There we
iron
go.
anything.
All right.
Kelly Cruz wants to know if you do knives, including shears and edge.
So Shelly, Rick does not like to do knives, etc., etc. However, Donna, who is also on our crew here at Golden Acre Quilting, does. So if that's the kind of stuff you want to get sharpened, give us a call. We'll connect you with Donna, and she even does mower blades. There's a word I was about to say that I can't say on YouTube because then we get in trouble, but she's pretty bad, if you know what I mean. So yeah, she'll get your knives and mower blades and other kinds of shears sharpened up for you. It's a resource we have. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. So we're going to talk briefly about the All New England Shop Hop because it is upon us, folks. It is starting on Sunday and it's Tuesday. And I don't know if that gives anyone else the little reminder that fall is here. But I had a moment when I realized that September 1st is this week. So September 1st through October 31st, All New England Shop Hop, 91 participating shops. We are one of them. We're so pleased to be part of this wonderful organization and event. We have been prepping to get our goodie bags ready that we're going to give out with our collectible blocks. We still have magazines here at the shop if you need one. And the shop hop fabric finally came today. We're so excited. So that's what's behind me on the right-hand side here, the shop hop fabric. And we're not allowed to sell it until September 1st, but we have some serious Golden Anchor elves here in the background, kitting up stuff and getting projects ready and getting ready to sew samples in the hopes that we have some ready for Sunday. So the beautiful shop hop fabric is here. It's got a seasonal theme. So there's fall fabric, winter fabric, spring fabric, and summer fabric, all with a New England flair. The panel has 4 seasons on it. And we will show more of that as the shop hop goes on. Tonight, we're going to focus on the sort of logistics of what's going on for the shop hop here. I think we've mentioned before, but we'll reiterate here, we're going to have some golden anchors that are hidden in bolts around the shop. And when you bring your fabric up to be cut, as we're unrolling that, if an anchor falls out, ta-da, you get 10% off that cut of fabric and you get to go tuck it into another bolt for the next person to find. We are also going to have some small turtles hidden around the shop. If you find one of the turtles, we have a giveaway basket that has things like thread wraps and purple things and bobbin wraps and seam rippers and other small quilty fun things for you to pick from if you find one of the turtles. And we have the goodie bags with our blocks. And we're going to have some in-store raffles going on where you can enter to win additional prizes. And we're working on building our big regional prize that we provided for Shop Hop this year. That is a $300 quilting and sewing related gift basket that'll be drawn by Shop Hop at the end of the Shop Hop. The way you get eligibility for those prizes, the regional prizes, and the all New England prizes that Shop Hop has collected from across New England, is by filling out your passport. And your passport, you go to the shops, you get a sticker on your passport, you collect your collectible block, and then at the end of the Shop Hop, you mail in your passport. We have a question.
And every 100.
Yes, thank you. I forgot about that. So we have marked on our stickers where each 100th shopper for the Shop Hop is, all the way through 1,000. And we are going to have a gift bag for each 100th Shop Hopper. So if you happen to come in and be the 100th or the 200th or the 300th, then we will have a special extra goodie bag for you. I think that's all our Shop Hop news. Anyone else think of anything else we were supposed to say about Shop Hop for tonight? Okay. I have a couple of quick class announcements and then we'll sew that scissor keeper. The first is, I think, down here, right here. Would this work? So these are our artist trading cards. These are September 4th at 11 and 5:30. Lunch is served for the 11 o'clock and dinner for the 5:30. It's a 2-hour workshop with Mary Knapp. You start with blank cards, put some embellishments on, add your name, pass it to the next person. They put some more embellishments on, put their name on, pass it to the third person, and then each of you gets to leave with one of the finished cards out of the set of 3. It's a different way to keep our classroom energetic and beautiful and build another extension to our community. And we're super excited that Mary's doing that. And then on the 7th, which is Saturday, it's also running at 11 a.m. And we are working to collaborate with some local restaurants about those lunches that are going to be served for those workshops. So we're excited about that collaboration too. And this Sunday, there is a pillowcase class. And we're going to talk about how to use double border fabrics to make super cute pillowcases. They go like that. They have a flange. They have a cuff. They are burrito method, and they are French seamed so that the inside doesn't have any raw edges there to rub against your pillow and wear your pillowcase down over time. So that is Sunday at 10:30. It's our pillowcase club. It runs every month, but you don't have to come every month. So this is just an opportunity to come, make some quick pillowcases, and it's a good beginner class. If you've not sewn before and you're thinking about getting into it, this is a great introduction to straight seams and using a sewing machine. We had a couple come in once. Neither of them knew how to sew. One of them had limited English, and we got both of them through making pillowcases in 3 hours. So we can do it. You know, you can do it. We can help. No, I think there's another business that has that. Okay, so that's the pillowcases. That is Sunday at 10:30, next Thursday at 5:30, and next Friday morning at 10:30 as well. And I think those are the only classes I wanted to highlight right now. Oh, in the bag is the dog quilt. Can we show them? We got to show them. All right, while Aunt Ellen gets that, we have the quilt of the week. I hope Papa's okay with my choice. Yeah? All right. So, I got to get tall for this part. This is the quilt of the week. And it is delicious.
That's gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. The back, wonderful too. Some great fall colors, a really wonderful quilting job. Thank you, Darren, for all of your hard work in the long arm room. The orange thread, I think, really just makes that pop. So that is our quilt of the week. Terry, when you come to pick it up, there will be a discount waiting for you as it was selected for quilt of the week. And while I'm being tall, Aunt Ellen is going to hand me the other quilt that we want to share. So Anne Blackburn is going to be a guest instructor for us in October 9th 16th, and 23rd. So this is a 3-week class. And at the end of that 3-week class, you have one of the cutest dog quilts I think I've ever seen. It's called All Wrapped Up.
Lower it because the head doesn't show.
Oh, okay. Ready? Here.
Yeah.
Head, right? And then it goes wrapping around. And then you have the bottom. So cute. And thank you so much for being willing to introduce our community to this wonderful pattern. It's jelly roll background, a little bit of fussy here. So she does recommend that if you're going to attend that class that you've already got consistent rotary cutting skills and 1/4-inch seams. But other than that, she can get you through it. She's wonderful. So we're excited. That class is not posted yet, but it will be soon. And then the other one that is posted that I don't have a quilt for yet is Beach House with Jean Corliss. And that's starting in October and ending in November. And I can't remember the dates right now, but I will try to remember to put a link to the calendar in the comments. And so that I don't forget, so when folks come into our shop and pay with cash or check and save us those credit card fees, we enter them into our weekly drawing for a $10 gift card, and we draw it live on YouTube. So here we go. Who are we giving one to this week? Cindy F as in Frank. Cindy, I will give you a call and let you know that it's here, and
Don't put it back in.
not put it back in because it was Cynthia P last week. The Cindys are on a roll, so we'll have to see what Cindy might come in this week, or someone could break that streak and come in and win instead of Cindy. All right. Any comments or questions we should do before we change over to our tutorial?
Get some good feedback on the quilts.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. That's just, I love them. All right. So, yeah, we can go down for a minute. Thank you. So I put a link on our Facebook page to this blogger's template, and encouraged folks, if they wanted to sew along with us, that they could download the template. I'm probably going to go a little bit faster in the tutorial than true sew along, but you can always watch after. You can always watch after the live and pause and rewind and go back and do this with me. But this is what we're going to make, and you can either put plastic snap on to seal this, or you can sew buttons and a loop. Really up to you how the closure works. It has 3 pockets, one there, and one there, all of which seal at the bottom, approved by Rick, Mobile Sharpening. So we know we've got a good design here. Thank you to the So Crafty Me folks who designed this. So to get started, there's a few little bits that I found helpful to remember when I was making the sample. When you are cutting, you're going to cut a lining fabric or an outer fabric, a lining fabric out of the main template here. And then also a piece of interfacing, fusible interfacing that goes on the back of your outside fabric. And I remembered the second time that I made a sample that I should make sure that when I'm laying my template on my main fabric, that I want the right side of my main fabric to be up and the bumpy or fusible side of my template to be up, so that after they're cut, they line up. The first one that I made, what I had intended to be the outside fabric, ended up being the lining because the fusible interfacing was cut in the direction to go with that piece instead. So just make sure when you're lining them up to cut. What I did was lay my lining fabric right side up, my interfacing with the fusible side up, my main fabric with the right side down, and then the template over, and I cut out. Same thing for your flap that you're going to cut with the template, except on this one, you want to make sure that on the right side, can I get to the right side? On the right side of whatever you want to be on the outside of the flap, lays with the straighter edge to your right as you look at it. So I'm sitting at the table over here. I would want this right straight edge to be near me with the right side of the main fabric up, so that when the flap closes, the correct fabric that you're looking for is on that outside. And again, when you're making that sandwich to cut, lining fabric face up, fusible interfacing, bumpy side up, main fabric, right side up, template, and then cut. So those are the things that I figured out in the moment of trying to create these pieces to then sew together. So to sew them together, you're going to trim off between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch all the way around on your interfacing, so that it's just ever so slightly smaller than your main fabric. And that's where you're going to stitch, is on that line. The first thing you're going to stitch after fusing the interfacing is your flap, the part that's going to come over and close your pouch. So I've got my right sides together with my main fabric, my lining fabric, and my interfacing. And then what I'm going to do for this piece is stitch all the way around the edge of that interfacing to seal that up. I had another one. Oh, it's in here. It's inside. Shh. Okay. So you're going to stitch all the way around that. Maybe I should just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's out of line.
Yeah. While I'm stitching, have people been telling us what their favorite brands of scissors or shears are? Because I forgot to remind people. Yeah, so
we did
for
remind people.
our drawing tonight, for one of our viewers to win the scissor keeper of your choice from what we're making tonight, is to answer what your favorite brand of shears or scissors is to have in your sewing studio. So once you've stitched around that interfacing approximately, you're just going to clip these outer corners a tiny little bit to decrease the bulk, and then around that curved seam. This is what Rick was talking about with the scissors cutting right at the tip. Just kind of clip the curve, and what that does is when you flip it, the curve is more graceful. I don't know where the other one went. Anyway.
It's inside, it's attached.
That's right. It's inside. We already found it. It's no longer
I am
missing.
here.
Thank you. I'm so glad there are people here to be my external brain. Got my turning tool. Gonna just run the turning tool along that curve. And then you would press here. Press here. You've got all of this open. That's okay. It's gonna get caught in a seam. So you're just leaving that straight edge open. And then you top stitch around to secure all that down. So we're going to pretend that that's top stitched. And then we're going to make our second sandwich. So we've got our lining that we're going to lay right side up. Our main fabric that's interfaced that we're going to lay right side down. And you're going to be tempted, like I was and actually did, to just sew around that, turn it out, and be like, ta-da, but you got to put the flap in before that, or it doesn't work. And when you put the flap in, she's got instructions for it on her website. There's a flat side to the template right here, and kind of what I call the open corner over here. And you want to line up your right side fabric that's interfaced of the flap with the right side of your main fabric, and the lining side to be with the lining side. And what that does is make this kind of point at that open corner. If I flip it, it's, you know, it still points there, but it's not as direct in my mind. That's how I tried to remind myself. So lining fabric to lining fabric, and main fabric for the flap towards the main fabric of the outer piece. You're going to create that whole sandwich. You pin if you want to. If you're a rogue like me, maybe you don't pin. You got to make up your own mind on that. I'm not going to send you one way or the other. But what you're going to do with that sandwich is stitch all the way around like we did with the flap, except this time you are going to leave an opening. I left an opening on this side over by the open corner. So I stitched from here with a back stitch all the way around and here and a little back stitch. And then I've clipped my corners and I did a little bit of trimming in these areas where it's going to kind of curve a little bit. And then you flip it out through the hole. And when you flip it out through the hole and do all of the turn the corners and all of that, you end up with a piece like this. So you flip it all out and then you top stitch around that main piece of the scissor keeper. And that sort of tucks down all of those edges. They're pressed, they're secured, and your flap is ready to fold down. And you're going to make 3 folds and 3 more seams. You take the side that's pointing away from that flap, fold that in, press, back stitch here, stitch down, and secure that pocket. And then bring this side in, kind of lining up the bottoms right here so that they stay nice and straight and true. That creates your second pocket. You're going to back stitch here, stitch down, back stitch here to secure, flip this over towards the front again, lining up that bottom, tack it here, stitch all the way down, and then a couple of back tracks across the bottom to keep those tips apart like Rick recommended. And then the securement of your choice, whether it be a plastic snap or a button or a magnetic snap even, or unless you don't want the magnet to pull on your scissors, you probably want to go with plastic or a button. And then you have a 3-pocket scissor keeper. Ta-da! Isn't that wonderful? So again, that template is at SoCraftyMe.com. And you just sign up for her newsletter and then you get access to print out the template and come back here and play and pause and rewind and play and pause and rewind and make one of these for yourself or one of your quilty friends or, you know, I don't know.
Your Aunt Ellen.
Your Aunt Ellen. Oh my goodness. Aunt Ellen's going to be here Sunday too. I think we've done everything except for our wheel of names for folks who have answered the question about what their favorite brand of scissors is.
Belinda, we're ready for the wheel of names.
What were the brands that we got in there?
It was Fiskars,
Fiskar, okay.
Horn Scissors, which I don't know what they are.
Oh, we'll have to explore.
KLA.
No, Kai.
Kai, okay. Okay, Rick says those are very good, so that's good. Kai.
And someone said Buckley Snips.
Buckley Snips. Oh, Karen K. Buckley's. We have those at the shop. Just saying.
And what are those black ones that you have that are so
Guggenheim. Yeah, I can't get Guggenheims here at the shop, but they do sell them online. They are wonderful. I love mine. They regularly sell them for 50% off, which makes their 9-inch tailor shears about $22.50. And when you make that purchase, they're going to say, do you want a pair of tiny little snips of ours? And the answer is absolutely yes. I love having those by my machine as well. And I can't necessarily benefit from telling you about those, but it is a wonderful pair. What?
I did not write down what Belinda said, which was Tula.
Oh, the Tula scissors. And Belinda won the wheel of names. Awesome. Well, I don't have to ship this to anybody. I can just hand it over right after the broadcast. How awesome is that? I don't know. And it's really hard to rig the wheel of names. So that was a real win. That's a real thing. Oh no, what do I do? Are there any other questions or comments that
A little more about the shop hop fabric.
Yeah?
Because
Okay.
Tim was interested and you we didn't really.
All right. We plan to do the whole line on another week because this week was kind of full with this and that
Okay.
and everything else. But we can show the panel and the border fabric, which are sort of the main, and maybe the words. Maybe the words. Okay. All right. Oh, Chris, I bet you could tell us how many viewers we've had with us so far tonight.
So far we've had 53 viewers.
53 viewers. Isn't that wonderful? I don't know what camera is the best for this. What do you think, Chris? Right there? Okay. So this is the panel. It's got spring, summer, fall, and winter, all the states in the smaller squares. And I can probably put a link to the measurements that are specific about what the squares are, so you can start brainstorming about what projects you want to put these in. The Shop Hop magazine put these into a table runner in a linear form with the collectible Shop Hop blocks that are given out by each shop when you go there on the Shop Hop as a border. Cute. We don't have the blocks, so we couldn't make that sample up, but we've got some other ones in the works. So that is the panel. The border fabric, I probably don't have to unwind as far. Put right here. This has all 4 seasons in a running border stripe. And I think it's such a happy fabric. It's happy.
Yeah.
Makes my brain happy. You know, classic New England. We've got farm stands, we've got skiing, we've got gardens and cows, we've got the sea coast with the lighthouses. So it's really wonderful border fabric. And the other fabric that gets a lot of love in the Shop Hop collections is the word fabric. Whoa, I'm okay.
Good. Say that around in a word.
Word fabric.
Because you kind of.
Oh, yeah, dropped off. Okay. So this is the word fabric, and it's got New England and Providence and whale watching and Maine and lobsters and cliff walk and Acadia.
Concord.
And
I saw Concord.
Concord, yep. Leaf peeping, Connecticut, Mount Independence, maple syrup, Boston Tea Party, Killington Mountain, all Massachusetts. So it's all New England themed. There's lobsters, there's sailboats, there's deer, there's sea creatures that I'm not going to try to identify. There's a crab. There's so much fun stuff, so much going on this. And then the coordinates that go with it go by season. So there are fall coordinates, winter coordinates, spring coordinates, and summer coordinates. And we have them all. And we're excited to have them all. We can't sell them until Sunday. So please don't come in and ask me, because you know I'm a softie. I can't do it. I won't do it because I want to be able to do the Shop Hop next year. And we'll do more with actually some of the samples and kits that we're going to put together for the Shop Hop with the Shop Hop fabric on next week's YouTube. So for a closer look at those, come see us on Sunday or come back and see us next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at Golden Anchor Quilting, where community is the fabric of our dreams. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.